Is there anybody in your world who's been the best example of that for you?
That's a good question. I would say from a leadership perspective, one of the commanders I had when I was at 10 Special Forces Group, Lieutenant Colonel Eric Brown, he believed in me to put me into a couple of positions that were, in essence, be a couple levels above my current pay grade. He had to go vouch for me to his boss, our commander. I remember sort of asking him at one point, look, why me? And he goes, look, there's always going to be people in life who may take ill-advised bets on others, but I don't think this is an ill-advised bet. It really struck me that this person who I'd been around for a few months believed in me so much that ultimately the one thing I didn't want to do was disappoint him, right? Now I was a leader of my own team. I didn't want to let them down, but more importantly, I didn't want to let him down. So now I had extra motivating factors. And he was so good about looking at people and not just their experience. He had a couple of years runway before he moved into this other leadership role, which I got to go work for him again. He had been spending all this time looking at all of these different key leaders that were all sort of in my peer group, but in very different job functions, and picking all the right people. And as he built this, as we kind of joked, our dream team that we got to spend a couple of years together with, we all sort of walked away from that moment knowing, you know what, we're never going to relive this again, and we're okay with that. But it was his innate ability to see people for significantly more than just what they've accomplished, their skills. It was so much more about each individual person, different voice, different perspective, different way of thinking, different way of problem solving, and putting that all together. And that's somebody for me, especially younger in my military career, that really helped shape and affect that. It's not just about the resume. There's so much more to the person than those couple of pages, those bullet points, those accomplishments. How do you find the time to learn all the things like you asked me in the beginning? Were those two words? If you spend more time getting to know that person, that's the person who's going to be showing up to work with you. That's who's going to be leading your teams. And so he was highly influential on me with that component of building teams through a slightly different lens.